Hey guys, welcome along. I've just started a game of General Darmee. Done the first couple of turns, just done the movement. The Brits are hesitant there. These Highlanders and Cavalry have moved up. The Hanoverians are hesitant down there. So, bear with me. And I will be back in just a second to keep going. Okay, right, I'm back guys, so I'm about to go. Hi, how long you been on? Not been on long, Neil. Just literally started, just played a couple of turns off camera. And just about to go into the British shooting for turn 2.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night.
Is anybody watching?
Yeah.
How many people?
10,000. Right, so the British shooting, the cannon is going to fire, but this brigade is hesitant. So he is going to be -2 because he counts as being unformed, and he's going to be -1 for a small 4-gun battery. So -3 off this result, and we're firing into the Lancers. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So a 7 at long range is half a casualty. So on a 4+, they'll take a casualty. Nope, they don't. And then I've got 2 extra dice on the cannon because I use 2 ADCs for artillery fire. And we get another casualty. So that puts the chasseurs up to 3 casualties. Just come round here. So they're up to 3. Now we'll see if those skirmishers at the back are in range. They've got a 12-inch range. Probably not. It's worth a go there. Nope, they're not quite in range. So it's going to be the French shooting now. The only thing the French have got is the cannon. And he is going to fire directly into that hesitant brigade there. So just measure the range because they have moved up now. Yep, so it's at effective range now. So -1 for being a 4-gun battery, which leaves us with a 4 at effective range. Is nothing a note. They got away with it. Okay, and that's a really short turn of shooting. So we go back into ADCs. So the British, that comes off now, and so does that. Got 4 brigades, and we get 2 ADCs. So I will put a brigade reroll onto the cavalry, because I want to keep them moving, and I will put a reroll on the Highlanders and the 95th because they're together. Okay, so I'll do command rolls. The cavalry then. they're fine, they didn't need it. The Highlanders and the 95th, they're good, they didn't need it. So the Brits and the cannon, they're fine. And then the Hanoverians, they're hesitant. Okay. There we go. And we'll do the French now. 4. So, French have got 4 brigades. That comes off. Do their roll for their ADCs. And they get 3 ADCs. So, I'm going to put a reroll on the chasseurs, reroll on this brigade, and a reroll on that brigade there, because I want to get them into the village. So we'll do their command rolls. So the chasseurs are fine, they didn't need it. This brigade with the cannon, they're good. The lancers are good. And this brigade by the village, they're hesitant, but they do have a reroll, and they're still hesitant. Okay. So, the Brits have a hesitant brigade, and so do the French. So, -1 off both their rolls for initiative. So, the French have scored a 2, which is dreadful. And the Brits will... Yep. -1, but then the Brits have the initiative. Excuse me. So, charge phase. I've got a 15-inch charge, which is still not going to be enough for the cavalry. So, I'm not sure about moving that cavalry because I don't want to get charged. But, yeah, they're going to stay put. But the Highlanders, no fear. They're going to move straight up because they want to get within firing range. Same with these Brits. They're moving out of the field now. Like so. Cannon will stay still. 95th over here, they can move up to 12. So they are going to be right in range of these French in column. So I'll move them around like such. Should have done the charge phase for the French, but again, nothing's within 15 because I hadn't moved those up yet, so no charges. So we'll just do their normal movement. So these guys, chasseurs, are going to start moving up. Bring their supports along. These columns can move 9, so they're going to move into the field. They'll get a bit of cover. So there's definitely going to be some shooting going on this turn. Lancers are going to move up there 9 at a slight little angle. Just keeping out of the way of the cannon. And they're hesitant. So we'll move up our commanders. Ney's going to move into that field. So we're going to British shooting then. Okay. Shooting. 9-inch range. Highlanders are going to fire into that first column in the field. So 2d6 roll. It's going to be on the inferior volley table because they moved. And it's going to be a -1 because the French got cover from the hedges in that field. So, -1, that's cocked. 5, 6, 7, 8 is 7 on the inferior volley is 1 casualty. So that column, take a casualty. Then we'll see these Brits are in range. No, they're not in range. Nope. Okay. Cannon is going to fire into those lancers, but they will get cover off of that. So 2d6 at effective range, and it's going to be -2 in total. -1 for being a 4-gun battery and -1 for getting cover. So -2. Which leaves us with 5 at effective range. A 5 is 1 casualty. So the Lancers have gone up to 4 casualties. And each unit has 12 casualties. So I probably won't finish this whole battle tonight. I'll do an hour or so and then probably pick it up tomorrow again. Okay, and then the skirmishers over the back there. So they get 3 dice for being standard size, and then they get an extra dice for being 95th rifles. So they are looking for 5s or 6s, and they're shooting into this first column here. And they get 1 5. So that puts a casualty onto this column. So now we will go into the French shooting. Just grab my tape measure. So this column took a casualty, firing straight back into the Highlanders. Now it'll be on the inferior volley, but because they're in a column, they have to halve the casualties on the chart. So we're hoping to roll high here. Oh wow, we rolled 11. No minuses. So 11 on the inferior volley is 3 casualties and a discipline test. So I'll just grab a dice there. So 3 casualties rounded down is 2, and they'll take a discipline test, which I have to take straight away. So they need a 7 or more. They need a 7 or more to pass. They rolled a 4, so they haven't passed. Roll of 4 to 6 is unit unformed. So the Highlanders become unformed, which will affect them. Okay. This second column is going to shoot at them as well. They'll be on the inferior volley because they moved as well. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 on the inferior volley is 2 casualties and a discipline test. So obviously it's half because they're in column. So that's another casualty. So they're up to 3. And a second discipline test. They passed. Easy. Okay, cannon. He's going to fire directly into this fresh unit of Brits that have come out of the field. 2d6, -1 for being a 4-gun battery. And that is it. They rolled a 3. A 3 at effective range. The cannon takes a casualty on itself. So that didn't work out for them. And then the last shooting will be both these columns shooting into the skirmishers. So they are hesitant, so the count is being unformed. So they're going to be -2 for being unformed and another -2 for firing at skirmishers. So it's going to be -4 from this first column. Leaves us with a 3. A 3 on inferior volley is 5 discipline, so they won't be able to move next turn. And the second column, they're left with 4. So a 4 is 5 discipline as well. So that didn't work out for the French. Okay. And we will go into the next turn. So, 2, 3. Still 4 ADCs for the Brits. Roll for them. And they get 2. Now I'm going to use a reroll on my cavalry because if I get the initiative, I want to charge, and I use a re-roll on the Brits. Oh no, actually, yes. Okay, so I'll do their command. The Cavalry are fine. The Highlanders and the 95th are fine. The Brits and the Cannon are fine. Hanoverians are fine at last. Okay, so we'll do the French ADCs. 4 brigades for them. And they get all 4 ADCs. So, we will put 2 on our gun for artillery fire, and a re-roll on both cavalry units because we want to make some charges. So let's do their command. Chasseurs. They're hesitant, but they do have a re-roll. And they're good. The brigade with the cannon are good. The lancers are hesitant, but again they got the re-roll. Yep, so that's changed the game dramatically. And then this brigade by the village, they're fine. So finally they get moving. Oh no, they can't move because they got fire discipline. Okay. So initiative. No minuses for anyone. So the French 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the Brits, oh, only 5. So the French have the initiative. So they're going to get some charges off here. Let's get the tape measure. So this cavalry unit, are they going to charge the Highlanders or the light dragoons? So no, they're going to charge the light dragoons. So they move to within 3 inches and bring up the supports. And then the lancers will charge these guys. Now because they're out of 9, they can attempt to form a square on a discipline test. 4, 5, 6, which they don't make. They needed 7, so they have to take the charge like that, which makes it easier for the cavalry. Okay. Charge phase for the Brits. Hanoverians are going to charge. The Highlanders are going to charge this column. They're not mucking about. They're just going straight in, like so. And that's it for charges. So let's work out charges. So the chasseurs down here. Okay guys, just let me know if you can hear me and you can understand what's going on. So the chasseurs now rolling for the charge phase down here. So no modifiers for the chasseurs, so just going to roll their dice. They score 11, which is a really good score. And the Brits, light dragoons, get a +1 for being veteran, and a +1 for being a higher morale grade, so a +2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So the Brits have got 10 and the French have 11. So the French have won by 1. Cavalry versus cavalry. A win of 1 is the attacker gets to melee and the defender gets to fight as well. Okay. And then the next charge, the lancers here will roll their dice, no modifiers. Oh, actually a +1 because they're lancers. Versus infantry, yeah, +1. So they got 6, so they'll be on a 7. And then the Brits in line infantry in line versus cavalry, they're going to have a -2. Let's roll red dice. -2 for them, which leaves us with 5. So 5, 5, 6. So they've won by 2, the cavalry. Cavalry versus infantry, a win by 2. The cavalry get to combat with Alan, and the defender is unformed, so that's going to hurt them in combat, but they get to smash in now because they couldn't form that square. And then the Highlanders, the last charge, roll their dice first. +1. Yep, +1. So 6, 7, 8, they'll be on a 9. And then the French in column, nothing. So they get 5. 5. So they've won by 4, the Highlanders. Infantry versus infantry. 3 to 5. The attacker takes ground, and the defender retreats and takes 1d3 casualties. So they're going to take 2 more casualties, which puts them to 3, and they've got to go back 18 or fall behind friendly supports. So they have to go back 6 first, but they're going to fall behind the gun with 3 casualties, and then these guys can take ground. So it worked out for the Highlanders, like so. Okay, so that was quite interesting there. So after all that, it'll then go into the Brits movement. The French movement either, because they got the initiative. Okay guys, that was a really good result for the Highlanders there. They've just managed to take ground and force that column back and cause 3 casualties on them. But I don't think it's too good for the Brits in line there with the Lancers. They rolled the discipline test, but they didn't pass it, so they couldn't form the square. So that's really going to hurt them. They're unformed as well now. And then this combat down here, I think, is anyone's. Okay, so we're going to the French movement then. So, French movement. It's really frustrating because these guys want to take the village, but they've got fire discipline. Actually, they can still move, but it just means they can't shoot. So, they are going to move into the village, but they won't be able to fire this turn. Now, this is counted as a garrison, and no one else can go in here. You can only have 1 battalion, and then they take up the corners of the garrison, and then the garrison almost acts like skirmish fire, and it's almost like a square. You can shoot from different facings, but no one else can get in here now. But these guys won't be able to shoot this turn because they had that fire discipline. These guys retreated back. These guys are going to form a line in the field to have shooting against the Highlanders. And that is it, because everything else is in combat and the cannon stands still. So the British, what are they going to do? These Brits are going to move up, because I think we need to start putting some damage into the cannon and the French. Hanoverians are just going to move up towards the village. Same with these. Now, unfortunately, the cannon, yeah, he's going to stay still. He can see directly down to the other cannon. So move that commander. This commander's going to move up. And that's it for movement. So we're going to the French shooting. So let's do the cannon first. He's going to fire directly at this battalion at close range. So 2d6 minus 1 for being a 4-gun battery. Leaves us with a 5 at close range. Close range 5 is 1 casualty. Oh, I forgot to, that's the Lancers there. So these Brits take 1 casualty. This line firing into the Highlanders, it'll be on the inferior volley because they've moved into a line. But that's it. So 2d6, 4 on inferior volley is a fire discipline. That's not too good for the French, so they can't move next turn if they want to recover from that. This unit here are not going to be in range and they retreated back. These can't fire because they've got fire discipline. Oh, these guys stood still, so they don't have fire discipline and they're going to fire at the skirmishers. So 2d6 minus 2 for shooting at the skirmishers. Oh, we got a good roll here. Got 11, but minus 2 is 9. On the inferior volley is 2 casualties and a discipline test. But it'll only be 1 because it's halved, because they're in a column. And then a discipline test for the 95th. 6, they failed, so they go unformed. Okay. So now we'll do the British shooting. Ooh. Okay. So the Highlanders are going to fire straight into that unit there. And they have moved, so inferior volley. No minuses. And they score a 5. On inferior volley is fire discipline if they're recruits, but they're not, so nothing of note. This line's going to fire into them as well. No minuses. Oh, we rolled double 6s. Now when you roll double 6, you have to roll on the destiny chart. So I rolled 2 dice again and we scored 4. If I look at 3 to 6, steady the buffs. I recover 1 casualty or I get a bonus in combat. So I'm going to recover a casualty off of the Highlanders. Oh, actually, sorry, it has to be on this battalion. So I'm going to take off their casualty. So they're now totally fresh. And we scored a 12. So we go back to the chart. So 12 on inferior volley is 4 casualties and a discipline test. So 4 casualties on them and a discipline test which they need a 7 to pass. No, they've passed with a 3. Now that's not good. Where are we? Let me find it, guys. Here we are, discipline test. 3 or less. Oh, that's not good. They have to retreat and lose 1d3 casualties. Now again, they have to move 18 inches back or fall on friendly supports. So that was some really good shooting from the British. So they're going to have to fall back 6 and then fall on friendly supports here. Okay, and they take 1d3 casualties when they go back for another 3. So they're on 7. Oh, that's not good for them. Grab another dice there. Okay, so that's really worked out in the British. Nothing. Oh, the skirmishers are going to fire. So they have 3 dice standard, 1 for being 95th, and we'll fire at. Oh, should we fire at the guys in the village? Let's have a look. Yeah, we'll fire at the guys in the village. So, target is in cover, minus, oh no, garrison fire. Target is in cover or garrison. We have to lose one of these casualty dice. So we go 5s or 6s. 1 6. So they take a casualty, the unit in the village. There we go. That is all the shooting. So we're going to go into combat. So we'll start with this combat here where my hand is. So the French chasseurs get their 5 dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they get a bonus dice because they won the charge. And then, do they get any other bonuses? Nope, that's it. Okay, so they're going to roll away, looking for 4s. That's a cocked die. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 casualties straight onto that unit. Here we go. So they take 4. And then the light dragoons will fight back. 3, 4, 5. And they get a +1 dice for being elite cavalry. So they're looking for 4s. And they cause 2. So the French have won that combat by 2. So by 2, cavalry versus cavalry. The winner takes ground and the cavalry return to their own lines. So basically, these guys go back to their own lines with their 4 casualties, and then these guys can move up to take ground, like that. Okay. So over here, the lancers, they get their 5 dice, 3, 4, 5, +1 because they're lancers, and +1, another one because of their charge result. So they're looking for 4s. Oh, that's a good roll. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3. So those Brits take 3 casualties. Now they will roll their 5 dice. 4, 5. But they are unformed, so they lose a casualty dice. So they go down to 4 casualty dice. And they score nothing. So the cavalry have won that by 3. So cavalry versus infantry on 3 or more. Oh no, take ground, but the infantry are destroyed. They're gone. So that is a point to the French. Wow, that really hurt those Brits that they couldn't form a square. So they can move to take that ground. And the French gain 1 point. Jeez, wow, that was a bit of an eventful turn there, I think. Blimey. So we have lost British infantry here. Now, because this brigade has had a unit dispersed, destroyed, they have to take a faltering test. So we roll 1d6 and we scored a 2. Look at the chart for veteran and line. A 2 is retire. Retreating and routing units will be destroyed. All remaining units retire. And all close order units lose 1 casualty. So they take a casualty and they have to fall back 18. So just when they were getting somewhere, they've now got to fall back 18. They've got no other friendly supports there, like such. And the gun will have to fall behind them for friendly support. Okay, so that was a very eventful turn. So I think what I'm going to do there, guys, is call that time, because I'm running out of time this evening, and I will be back on tomorrow to try and finish off this battle. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time you guys tune in. Cheers, thanks for watching.